Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is time for Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. We thank you for joining us on Thursday morning. It's June 22nd. My name's Joe Callahan. Around the Coffee Ann table, we'll say good morning to Bob Lauder. Hi, Bob.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Good to have you here. Emily Hayden-Sheen from the Callers here. Hi, Em.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
And we're also being joined for this half hour by Ron Blaze. He's with the Blackstone Valley Amateur Radio Club. And good morning to you there, Ron.
Good morning.
And we just now Ron's been here for a few years now, and this is how quick I am. That I just figured out today. Hey, I had Ron's wife as a teacher at North Cumberland Middle School. Like, hey, how about that? Isn't it a small world?
Sure is.
It's Rhode Island. Everything. Everybody knows everybody in Rhode Island.
It's amazing. So we're going to talk to Ron.
She acknowledges she had you as a
Well,
student.
we're gonna find out since I just figured it out like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Ron's gonna go home,
Right.
and ask his wife, "Do you remember Joe Callahan?"
And is he going to report back to us her reaction?
Can you report back to us? Send me a quick email.
She's listening right now.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Blaze. All right, let me put my picture up there. See, I'm a little older now. All right, and a lot less hair. Anyway, Em, it is time for your first message from the Call newspaper.
Yes. So, July is almost here. So, that means health and wellness. So our health and wellness program is going to be coming out in the end of July, and it's the health and wellness section. So anything in regards to health and wellness, if you want to promote on the Call or Times website, as well as in the Woonsocket Call paper, as well as the Pawtucket Times paper, you can reach 80,000 readers in 1 month. So if you are interested in participating in the health and wellness section, please give me a call at 401-767-8500.
All right, Em, very good. As we just found out, Ron here used to work at the Call. And what did you do with the Call, Ron?
30 years I was both a writer and a editor.
Wow. And when did you retire?
Oh, let's see, I was 61, so about 15 years ago.
All right. You didn't have to worry about the internet back then.
Well, we had it, but it wasn't as pronounced. We had computers.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
when I started, I had an old manual typewriter.
Yeah.
Then I went to the
Electric?
IBM Selectric
Ooh.
typewriter.
Ah.
They gave us a little electronic pad.
Yeah.
And I could take a phone like
Yeah.
that and put it on so I could send my stories in from
Yep.
my home. And then we came up with pagination.
What's
So
that?
Pagination is we read when I was an editor. We read the stories, we edited them, and then we put them on the page. Before we used to send them down the tube, and then the composing room would do it.
All right.
And they had proofreaders
Yeah.
to make sure. So it in a span of about a year, with just the progression was just incredible.
Sure.
So from a Royal typewriter to sitting at a keyboard with a screen in front of you, and you're laying in the pictures, the captions, and everything, and it's sending it down right to composing.
Wow. Oh, the good old days, right, Em?
Yeah, that was the good old days. Technology is is an amazing thing. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Now, is there somewhere in the archives there of the Call these old Royal Crown typewriters?
No.
No, they've been disposed of.
Yes, they have. They have, unfortunately.
I must say, when I came on board, I believe it was 1976, they had just stopped linotype,
Did they?
the hot lead,
Yeah.
I believe, because I remember they used to put the copy into a machine and it would come up on a board down in composing.
Yeah.
They would make the corrections and then go through. Unfortunately, there was no more need for proofreaders.
Right.
So, but fortunately, the Palmer and Hudson family did find places for those people.
them? Okay.
Some came up to the copy desk, some went to the library and stuff like that. But the technology is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Did you?
Somewhere back at home, I have a piece of cardboard that is fairly thick, but it's embossed with the pictures of the cartoon. And you used to put the lead on those and then make the print from that. Yeah, that's great.
They used to put the sheets, you'd have a whole page and send it through a washing machine. I call it a washing machine, but like a washer with acid, and then all of a sudden the type would rise, and that's how they put it onto the presses.
Wow.
Yeah,
always thought you used
it's
presses
amazing.
Like the old-fashioned
Yeah.
with the raised type. No, that's not how it was done.
No, it's like a negative. Then it would go through this acid wash, and then it would pump up, and then they just take the plate and put it right on the press.
Wow.
So it's gone rather quickly.
But it's all changed now, right now?
Yes, it has. Yeah, it has. It's all changed.
All right. Did you like being a reporter?
And it was challenging, but it was
Yeah.
fun. It
Yeah.
was different every day, and I think the greatest satisfaction I had as a journalist is I was able to keep the people informed of the areas that I covered. And in the last 5 years of my career, I worked for a weekly newspaper that was run by the company that owned us called Neighbors. And that was
Yeah.
by far the most gratifying. I
Was
just
it?
met some incredible people
Yeah.
in this area, by the way, that people had no idea.
We're here.
Yeah.
Wow.
True.
That's
That was
fantastic. All right. Now, Ron is part of the Blackstone Valley Amateur Radio Club, and every year they have what they call their annual field day, which is coming up this weekend.
That is correct.
So tell us about it. Where does it all take place and what's going on?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank WOON on behalf of BVOC for inviting us and allowing us to share the airways with you this morning. I'm here to invite your listeners to come discover the adventure, the challenge, and the excitement of amateur or ham radio. I'm inviting them to come to our annual field day, which will be held Saturday, June 24th, Saturday, starting at 2 p.m., and it will continue through Sunday, June 25th at 2 p.m. We will be located at the Situate Senior Center, which is the former Chopmas Hill Inn, on Route 102. And we set up and operate regardless of the weather. And the reason why Field Day is sponsored by the ARRL, it's the Amateur Radio's umbrella organization. It's our largest event of the year. And at its core, Field Day is an emergency preparedness exercise in which radio clubs and organizations throughout the nation test their readiness to provide emergency communication in the event of a national emergency or natural disaster. When other forms of communication go down, ham radio pulls through. We get through. Let's see. As part of the exercise, we cannot plug in electricity. We have to provide our own electricity.
How do you generate it?
Generators and solar.
Oh, okay.
Solar now.
Yeah.
Mostly it's generators, portable generators, and that's part of the rules. Because of course, if you have a national emergency,
Nobody knows.
you can't plug in your electricity. All going to be down.
Exactly.
So this is why we have to do this all the way through. This year, ARRL expects about 2,000 amateur radio clubs and organizations will participate, representing about 40,000 ham operators
Wow. That's
in the
amazing.
U.S. and the
Yeah.
U.S. and Canada. So it's quite a big event. It's a nationwide event.
Nationwide thing, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Which is why it starts at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to 8 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd like to have the public come and visit us because we'll actually see ham radio in action. It highlights the science, the skill, and the service that's incorporated in amateur radio. What we're going to have experienced hams on site, and we're going to take you out and show you our location. We plan on having several radio stations operating simultaneously, including Morse code, digital, and one single sideband or voice. So for anyone with a curiosity about or an interest in or would like to learn what's involved in amateur radio, Field Day is an outstanding opportunity to see what amateur radio is really all about. So one of the nice things about Field Day also is that if Bob or Emily comes over, they not only will see the operation, but you'll be able to operate the radios on that day.
Oh, that's cool.
So they have what they call a go-to station, which is get on the air. And this is the FCC permits on that day unlicensed individuals to sit down and operate the radios. Now,
Bob, did you have a question?
later on when you
Okay.
Now, once you stop by the GOTA station, an experienced ham will be there. You'll sit down at the radio. He will explain the proper protocols to make contacts, which are very simple. They are really very simple to do. And then we put you on the air. So you will hear one station calling, so then you will respond to that station. And then if he responds back, then you've made a contact. That contact could be anywhere in the world. It could be Massachusetts, it could be California, it could be Europe, England, could be Russia, could be Australia, anywhere in the world, someone you may be able to make a contact with those people. So it's one of the joys of having this on field day and so forth, to see the reaction of some of the people that make some of these contacts.
I bet.
Says, oh my gosh. Plus also, I want to emphasize that if you do come and you get on the radio, don't be intimidated. It's very simple, as I said. They're very easy to learn, and it's really exciting and fun to get through. Also, as part of our field day, what we're going to do is we're going to have several demonstrations. We like to put demonstrations on. We're going to have a low power station. One of our hams enjoys doing remote contacts. So he'll pick up his equipment, puts it in his knapsack, he'll go to the beach, he'll go to a mountain, he'll go to a park, and he sets up and he operates. And he operates what we call low power, which is 5 watts or less. And last year he made contacts with New Mexico from Situate on 5 watts. So it's quite an operation to see. So we're going to have one of those that's going to be set up.
All right.
Another demonstration that we're planning, and hopefully cooperated, one of our members likes to make contacts using satellites. And he'll set up his apparatus, how he does it, and then he's going to go up there and he has an antenna and he waves it around and he picks up a satellite, so then he tries to make a contact. And it's quite challenging because there are a lot of people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So trying to get through that pileup, when everybody's trying, that's what we call a pileup, is when everybody's trying to reach the station. It's quite a challenge. And also, he only he only has maybe 8 minutes or something by the time that satellite gets
gone.
out of range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then he has to get down. So that'll be another demonstration. We will have, now digital is big in amateur radio. It is in everything else. And we are going to have one station just simply digital. So it's going to be worked out. We're going to have, as I mentioned, we will have some experienced hams, and we'll explain everything that is going through in between the raindrops, from what I gather. But I want to emphasize, we will be on the air regardless of weather. Emergencies don't just happen in clear days.
Right.
It happens in can be some terrible conditions. So we will be operating.
All right, we're going to take a break right here. We did get a note called in, 766-1240, if you have any comments or questions. And this one, actually for Ron, Linda Lamoureux says hello. Says that you work together at the Neighbors newspaper.
Linda Lamoureux.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, now you're really testing me.
Well, think about it for a minute.
Okay.
And we'll go over to M to get a second message from the Call newspaper, and then we'll take a break.
Yes. So, as everybody has been seeing in the Woonsocket Call on Sundays and the Pawtucket Times on Saturdays, we have the Blackstone Valley Places, which is a great opportunity for any type of realtor or cabinet maker, carpet place, anything to do with the home or garden for that matter, to participate in the Blackstone Valley Places. It's a new section of our paper, and it's everything to know about homes and how to keep up with homes. And there's always a project. It's a never-ending project. I know personally it's a never-ending project, but it's a great way to promote your business. We have great opportunities, all different levels of spend. So if you are interested in participating in the Blackstone Valley Homes, it's a month's worth of advertising. So you would be in the paper, either 4 Saturdays or 4 Sundays or 5 Saturdays or 5 Sundays. So you can give me a call at the office at 401-767-8500.
Very good, Em. And more of the Coffee and program coming your way. Once again, comments and questions, call them in at 766-1240.
The latest word from John Chan at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining on Main Street is early bird specials. This is for dine-in only. Sunday to Thursday from 3 to 5, get $2 off 32 special combo dinners. $2 off. Drink specials on Sunday to Thursday, 3 to 9 p.m. House wine, $5. Domestic beers, $4. Mai Tai and Scorpion bowls, $7, of course. Get your poop platters at Chan's. Enjoy the awesome Chan's experience. It's so good. Chan's is at 267 Main Street, Woonsocket. And you can go online at chanseggrollsandjazz.com or give them a buzz at 765-1900. Takeout, drive-through, delivery, or sit in the booth. And now John Chan is extending those new early bird specials to 3 to 6 p.m. by popular demand, Sunday through Thursday. $2 off Chan's 32 special combination dinners till 6 p.m. Chan's.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with RE/MAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
All right, Coffee and on Radio. Em, can we hear that phone number for Scott McGee one more time, please?
Sure. It's 401-639-2906.
One more time.
401-639-2906.
Very good. That's Emily Haney Sheehan. Bob Lauder is here. And also Ron Blaze from the Blackstone Valley Amateur Radio Club. So, Bob, go ahead and ask your question for
Well,
Ron.
the first thing I was going to say was I noticed that Mrs. Blaze is not committed to writing her comments about you as a student.
Maybe she can't remember me.
I'm more afraid that she can remember you very clearly. Wow.
I was a fine child.
What happened?
Were you?
What happened? I did not act up in class. I was never in trouble. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, right.
As his face is beat red, folks.
Anyway.
Okay. I was going to ask about the frequencies and how these operate, because WOON has a frequency and it stays in this location. And I imagine that it's licensed for this location. We couldn't suddenly pick up sticks and move to Calais, Maine, and start running WOON on the same frequency. But with ham radios, you can go virtually anywhere and use your frequency and be broadcasting. Is that correct?
Yes, it depends on which frequency you want to work. You can work 80 meters, 40 meters, 20 meters, 15 meters, 12 meters, 10 meters. Then they have 6 meters, and nets are 2 meters. So if you're on 80 meters, you may hear someone from Europe, or you may hear someone from New Hampshire.
Okay.
But you're allowed to talk because you have your license, and you can. That's how we're allowed to talk. We are allocated so many bands in the radio spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
They're allocated your band, which is 995, I believe.
Right. On the
and,
FM side.
And then
1240.
1240 on the AM side. So we have bands. I can only operate within a certain band on the 40 meters.
Right.
Someone who has, there are 3 licenses in amateur radio: technician, general, and extra. type of license you have determines what part of the spectrum or that band that you can use. So if you have extra, you can use all that's allowed. A general may not have that much, and then the most limited is the technician. So most people get the general because it is a challenge to get the extra license. But that's how it works.
Do you have to show proficiency in your operation in order to get the
have to-
increased licenses?
You are licensed by the FCC through a series of tests,
Okay.
and each test is based for technician, general, and extra. Extra is the top of the line. That's the highest you can get in the license for FCC. And I think one of the challenges that right now that we're facing is everyone is fighting for space on the radio spectrum, and we're trying to protect our bands where we can operate. That's one of the challenges right now, because some of these companies and so forth want to use so much of the spectrum, they need it for their businesses and so forth. So they're trying to creep in here and there, and so we have to defend our
Space.
space. Yeah,
Your
our
turf.
spectrum. And this is where the ARRL comes in.
That stands for American Radio Relay League.
That is
And
correct.
so they oversee all the
It's
ham
pretty much the
radio?
umbrella organization for amateur radio.
Okay.
to get
But
through.
when you said some of your members try and reach satellites.
Yes.
What do you get back when you reach them? Do
What
the
we do-
satellites broadcast some signals back to you, or
No,
what?
it's I'm not that familiar with satellites, but my understanding is that it makes you the contact, the satellite, and the
Right.
satellite shoots down, but someone else somewhere is trying to reach you, so you have to
Oh,
connect.
all right, okay.
So you have
You're
to
using
connect.
it as a
And then when you-
relay point.
Right. When you connect, you log it in. You have a log, so you put down pardon me, the date, the time, what band you were on, and who the person was. That's a QSO. It's a contact, and that's how you prove that I contacted you on such and such a day, such and such a time, such and such a band.
Yeah, so you're not making it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And the reason why that's important is required, number one. And number two is the ARRL has a number of awards that you can earn through your proficiency as an operator. For example, if you make a contact in all 50 states, you can get an award for worked all states. If you can reach 100 countries, then you get what they call the DXCC award, which means you have reached 100 foreign countries.
Wow.
You've made a contact with someone in 100
That's
foreign
cool.
countries. And I think the total number of places that you can reach worldwide is 340. And some of these are very, very difficult because they're a little island somewhere out in South
Yeah.
Pacific that no one's really there. Or they just had one where they went to an island off of Antarctica. So everybody's trying to reach that because they
Yeah.
want to get that. They want that in their log. So it's quite
Yeah.
a pileup. So these are some of the. They have other awards also, but the big ones are worked all states and contact all the countries.
And you said some people communicate with Morse code
They do.
as opposed to verbal.
Yes.
How much of your members, actually communicate with Morse code?
Well, this is interesting
Percentage.
because to get licensed, before I came, I've been out about 18 years, but before I had my license, you had to be proficient in Morse code. You had to be able to send 5 words and receive 5 words per minute.
Yeah.
The FCC took that component out, so you no longer have to know Morse code to get your license. However, what they found out is that Morse code right now is more popular than ever. Many people try it. And the thing about Morse code, it's the most efficient way of communicating. It's better than voice, or like what we're talking here. Morse code will get through where voice won't be able to get through.
Oh, wow.
And it's a process of, it's just practice. It's just practice. You have to know that dit da is A,
Yeah.
and you don't count it, but you have to know the sound. And it takes a while to get proficient to that. Most people can do 18 to 20. Some people can do 30 words a minute.
Wow.
Wow.
So, but it's practice, and it's become very popular.
My dad used to know Morse code, and I think he learned it because he was growing up as a kid in the early 1920s when radio was first commercially being around, and I think they used part of it then.
Right.
But wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's what they did. It's,
So when you contact another country, I'm sure I've asked this question before. When you contact another country, what do you do when there's a language problem?
surprisingly, most people speak English.
Really? So if you reach China, that you're gonna get
Yes, you
someone
can have
speaking
China,
English?
Japan.
Yeah.
The question is getting through the accent.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
can be tough. I spoke to someone in Russia one time, and I kept
Tough.
saying, "Say again."
Yeah.
Say again, because he was having a tough time. He was speaking English, but
Yeah.
it's not like we're speaking here and there.
Right. Yeah.
I would say most people speak
They
English.
do. Wow.
when they go
Okay.
through. It's just to get through that the language barriers, to get through the accent and what they're saying.
Do you find that in the countries that you are trying to reach, there's any kind of censorship on that country's part against communication between the two of you?
Like,
Oh,
if you,
it's-
like if you reach like North Korea or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah, North Korea, it's
Well, they probably don't have the equipment.
Yeah.
But any other similarly restricted country?
I'm not too familiar. I've never had a problem reaching other countries, but I'm sure there are some places where there is censorship and where they may restrict the number of licenses also.
Okay.
But that I'm not too familiar with that aspect of the hobby.
Now, years and years ago, when Radio Free Europe used to be a big deal in the Cold War, the Soviets would try and jam Radio Free
They
Europe
do,
so it
yes.
couldn't be heard. Do you have any experience with countries trying to jam your communications?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, North Korea may be one, but I don't imagine there are too many hams in North Korea.
No, I
probably
doubt it.
not.
I don't think so. They control everything so much
Yeah.
over there. It's unbelievable. Maybe some other places in Asia, there may be some limitations, and so Africa would be other places. Some of the more poorer countries, third world countries, you don't have too many. I don't think there'd be too many hams out there.
Have you talked to everyone in all 50 states? Someone in all 50 states?
I haven't. No.
No. How many
I
states do you need?
haven't, I'd say I got about at least 20
Oh,
or 30.
okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a list.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is you can get 13 in the next week or so, from July 1st to July, around 4th of July, 7 days from 4th of July. They have what they call a 13 colonies.
Mm-hmm.
So the original 13 colonies will have stations on the air, and you can try to reach them. And if you contact them and you get all 13, or you contact them, you get a certificate saying you got all 13 colonies. Well, this is an interesting aspect, because the first time I did it, I said, I can't, son of a gun, how come I don't hear Maine?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't hear Vermont. I got to get Maine and Vermont. Why aren't I getting them? Then I said,
Well, wait a
of
minute.
course. They weren't colonies back then. They were, I believe Maine was part of Massachusetts
That's right.
and Vermont was part of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm banging my head on the thing. Why can't I get these? 'Cause then it finally dawned on me. But then I got the other 13 also. And
Should
it's
ask
just
your
a
wife.
separate
She's a school teacher.
yeah. So it was, it's fun. There's also we have special events. I like to work the special events. That can be anywhere from a hydrant flushing in Iowa to I've tried to reach them and I can't get through to them, is the Navajo tribe of New Mexico has a special event honoring the World War II code talkers.
Wow.
The Navaho
yeah.
code talkers. And I cannot break through the pileup. I've been trying now for several years, and I just can't break through that pileup. So that's one I'd like to get.
Someday.
I got one from Maine several years ago on the anniversary of Remember Telstar,
Yes?
Yes,
first
the
communication satellite.
yeah.
I got that one. And I had another one, another special event that I was able to contact was in honor of Charles Lindbergh at Mitchell Field on Long Island, where he took off from. And I wanted that one badly because my father was stationed there at one point during
Wow.
when he was in the service. So I got that one.
So, and we got to wrap things up quickly, but another question. When you're reaching, let's say, California or Hawaii, is the reception less clear the farther away people are?
Depending on the conditions.
Okay.
There's sometimes
So
it'll
there
be
may be
like
static.
talking here and there, and
Yeah.
the other time you'll be breaking up, you'll have static.
Yep.
It all depends on what they call the condition of bands, how the bands are working
Okay.
to get through.
And
Sometimes it's very good, and sometimes it's
not so
terrible.
much.
We just had a period where it was very terrible. We had a
Yeah.
terrible time reaching no matter where you would come.
Yeah.
Now it seems they've opened up. They say they've opened up.
All right. So the Blackstone Valley Amateur Radio Club is having their annual field day, and it starts. So you're setting up tomorrow.
Yes.
The ham radio operators will be setting up tomorrow. Everything starts at 2 p.m. on Saturday and runs 24 hours.
Yes.
So that's important, and runs all the way to Sunday, June 25th. It takes place at the Scituate Senior Center, the former Chop Mist Hill Inn, which is on Route 102 in Scituate, and activities go on regardless of the weather.
That's correct. And I'd like to mention also that people can get some more information about Field A and our club by going to our website,
Which is?
w1ddd.org.
All right. Ron Blaze, thanks for coming in.
Well, I thank you very much for the time. I really appreciate it, and I had a good time.
All right. We're happy to hear that. All right. Time for a look at the weather forecast being brought to you by Compassion International.
Cloudy skies today with a high near 70 degrees and a slight breeze from the east. Tonight, cloudy skies, overnight low of 59. Friday's weather, 50% chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, cloudy skies with a high of 75. Saturday, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, cloudy, high of 78. Sunday, 50% chance of showers with a cloudy sky and a high of 80. Monday, 60% chance of showers, mostly cloudy and a high of 82. Tuesday, 70% chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high of 78. And on Wednesday, back to a 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, and 77.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street under mostly sunny skies. We have 67 degrees. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision making and a relationship-based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, and MLS number 465956.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox, is on my morning sports reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
It's Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with Bob Lauder. Emily Haney-Sheehan is here from the call, and we're being joined by Mike DeBroyce, Director of Planning and Development for the City of Woonsocket. Hello there, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday.
Thank you. Same to you. And we're going to get to Mike in just a minute, but Bob, it's time for a first message from your law office, please.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. I'd like to talk to you this morning about adoptions and how these legally established relationships can have a bearing on one's estate planning. First situation I'd like to address is what is the intestate relationship of an adopted individual with the estate of the individual who adopted him or her. The first case is that of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank as trustee of Charles H. Durfee Trust, and it was decided by the Superior Court of Providence County in January of 2006. In the Chase case, the father created a trust under the terms of which he left the trust estate to his 3 children, if then living, and to their issue per stirpes, which means that in the event of the death of any of the beneficiaries, the interest of the beneficiary passed to the children born to the deceased and their subsequent children. The 3 children all survived the settlor, but the assets of the trust were not fully distributed, and one of the children, adopted by an adult 39 years after the death of the settlor. Upon the death of that 1/3 beneficiary, the adopted individual claimed entitlement to the undistributed portion of the estate to which its adoptive parent was entitled. The plaintiff, the adult adoptee, argued that Section 15716 of the General Laws, as amended, granted to adopted children the right of inheritance. After the trial, the Superior Court of Rhode Island ruled that it would not base a decision on judicial guesswork, and that Section 15716 referred to an adopted child, not an adopted adult, and the court was satisfied that there was no evidence to prove that the settlor intended to include within the limitation of issue those individuals adopted as adults following the settlor's death. While this case is unusual in its fact pattern, it's clear indication that when one is planning the distribution of one's assets, it's essential to be specific in the nature and phrasing of all bequests. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
And can't you just see Bob in his office standing at a whiteboard, drawing up the plays like for football or basketball, trying to keep track of who goes where and who got adopted to who,
Yeah.
and lines
Yeah.
and
It's like a little
arrows.
family tree.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
kind
Who's
of.
who? You can't tell the
this-
players without the
Yeah.
The
scorecard.
scary thing is that when I'm talking to people about estate plans,
Yeah.
I usually have a big sheet of paper.
Yes.
And I write down
Everything.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it is sort of like, well, I wouldn't use the term football.
Well, X's and O's,
Yeah,
and this
X's and
swings this
O's.
way,
Yeah.
and this
Yes.
goes this way. And
If this happens, what
That's
goes
right.
on then? Yep.
see, it's a good sports analogy, Bob.
Sports analogy?
You're
Me?
using
You're
one.
using one.
Whoa.
So
Who
it went
would've
from
thought?
a family tree to X's and O's.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
All you have to say is X's and O's, and people will say sports. That's all you got to
Yeah.
say.
Oh, okay.
Just say, I'm going to do
I
the
thought
X's
that
and
was-
O's for you.
I thought it was tic-tac. Okay.
Nope. X's and O's, and we'll be all set.
Darn. You guys are converting me. I'm
That's
gonna-
right.
Yes.
We'll get there
We'll
someday.
get you.
All right. And you could follow all that.
Yes.
You could. Wow. Well, that's
Wow.
why he's the lawyer. I'm
Exactly,
like-
and we're not.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Who gets what? And who died? Just-
Yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning again. All right. Mike DeBryce is here, Director of Planning and Development for the City of Woonsocket. First thing I want you to bring up the whole tree program that people, individual people and businesses can get trees for
Yes.
free from the city.
Yeah, so exciting project. I mean, the mayor is always, and I said this the other night at the city council meeting back in my DPW days, the mayor is always an advocate of the tree canopy in the city of Woonsocket. And we know that, there's been open discussion about the trees taken out at Cass Park for the improvements that we're doing. It's going to look great. I drove by there this morning. It's unbelievable, the transformation that park's getting. But the Groundwork Rhode Island that the city is working with has scored a grant, not only for the city of Woonsocket. I believe it's, I can't remember all the communities. It might be Pawtucket,
Yeah, there's a few others.
Lincoln, Woonsocket's one of them, and so I only care about Woonsocket. And it's 500 trees that they plant in the city over the next 3 years. And you say, well, that should be not a problem, but everybody is not qualified. So there's qualifications for every program out there, and we're looking for those areas that are deserts that need the trees, and they do the whole thing. They purchase the tree, they install the tree. The only thing you need to do afterwards is water the tree. And what's
But
nice,
you got to commit to watering the tree
you
for
have
like
to
2
commit
years.
to water.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want. I mean, we're planting it, we're investing in it, and
Yeah.
I think most people, if they go in that route, they're going to
They're
take care of the
invested.
tree.
Okay.
Yeah. And some of the species are great. I was looking at some of the pictures. They're beautiful trees. And they're not just a twig. I always look at when you get a free tree, it's like when I used to go to the
Charlie
Big
Brown
E.
Christmas tree?
Well, you would go to the Big E with your parents, and you go through the little state buildings, and they give you this little twig
It's
of
a
a pine tree.
sapling.
You go home, you plug it in the ground, and you never see anything that happened. These things are 2 inches in diameter, so they've been
all
growing
right.
for a few years. It's a great program. I didn't bring the phone number with me because I was off actually to a couple of job sites this morning. But if you just call our office, we will get you in touch with Rhode Island, Groundwork Rhode Island, and get you into communication with them. But our office is 767-9237, and someone from my staff will point you in the right direction. Great program. What's awesome is it's not just for homeowners, it's also for businesses. And I think that's a great asset to some of the business community to help them improve, the location that they're at. So looking
Curb
forward
appeal.
to it. Yep, looking forward to it. And if we don't use the 500 trees, believe me, we have the mayor's already pinpointed a few areas that we'll plant whatever trees are left.
Okay. Now, Em, you're working on Bob's yard. Could he use a tree?
No.
No, it's
No.
It's crowded. Okay.
It's crowded.
Okay.
It's crowded. No, it's just cleaning up.
Yeah. All right.
It's cleaning up.
About the trees, though, a neighbor of ours just had a tree taken down because it was severely rotted. They didn't grind out the stump. They just cut it off down at the ground level. If the neighbor was to apply for a tree and was accepted, Are they going to have to grind out the stump, or can they just plant it next to the formerly existing tree?
Well, I mean, I always an advocate of grind down the stump. It's going to look better on the property.
Right.
It helps get rid of some of the carpenter ants that are probably going to infest that stump afterwards. So this program doesn't include that, so that would be up to them to do it. But I would, I don't think that they can plant it right next to it. It's got to have some breathing room. So that tree probably had some extensive roots. And then this new tree is going to have some extensive roots. One of the things that we work with Groundwork Rhode Island is making sure that wherever they're planted, we're not over the utilities. Where's your water line? Where's your sewer line? Where's the overhead lines? Where's the best place for that tree to be put onto your property to help you with shade in the summertime, with wind and how it affects your house? All that stuff is studied before they put an X in the grass of where the tree will be put.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot more complicated than I thought.
It is. But to me, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to putting some trees in the ground.
All right. Well, Bob's going to get going. He's got to get to the court, I guess.
Yes.
So very important. The judge will not wait. And so we're going to go to Bob once again here to get a second message from his law office.
Thank you. Good morning. It's Attorney Bob Lauder. A few minutes ago, I discussed with you the need to specify the identity of the individuals one intends to be beneficiaries of one's assets following death. I'd like to expand that caution a little further. What is the status of a child who has been released by its natural parent or parents for adoption? Section 15.7.17 of the General Laws of the State of Rhode Island specifically provide that in the absence of an instrument, such as a will or trust, specifically eliminating the child as a beneficiary, that the child has the right to inherit from its natural parents in the same manner as any other child of the natural parents. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the famous disclaimer: the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license to certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thanks for coming in, and we will see you again the next Thursday.
I hope so. I see you've had a note passed you.
Yes.
Is this the report from Mrs. Blaze?
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, sorry.
She just won't commit in writing what she thinks of you.
I'll let you know if she contacts me, okay?
Yeah.
All right, remember...
Emily, what do you think? Do you think she's going to tell what...
I think, I don't know. I think he was a little Dennis the Menace.
Probably was. I think you're right. Yeah.
I think so.
Remember, X's and O's.
X's and O's. Thank you very much.
Hugs and kisses.
Hugs and kisses.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's what he's sending you. Hugs and kisses.
Anyway, so Mike, we did get a note called in, 766-1240. What kind of trees? Is there a variety of trees?
There is,
the
and
city
I think
gives
that
out?
they have the option of picking a couple of fruit trees too. I'm trying to remember Monday night there was a red oak, maybe a red maple, a red oak.
Mm-hmm.
There was a silver linden and an eastern something. I really wish I had that paper in front of me, but I can tell you the pictures of these trees when they're mature, they are beautiful trees.
So, but you can also get like apple trees or peach trees.
It's a selection of that.
Yeah.
But again, I encourage people to call my office. We'll get them in touch with Groundwork Rhode Island, and we'll get them into the process. So, but they need to qualify for where they live in the city.
And it's free.
It's free. What's better than that? 4 favorite letters.
Yeah.
And just say, okay, it goes over there. Is that a good place for it? Yes, that's a perfect place. And
Yeah.
they put it in for you.
I bet you
Great
by the time you're said and done, it's probably I would estimate about $1,500 worth of time, material, labor involved into that,
Wow.
if not more. But
And then-
we'll keep it like that.
So the city has their own, or does Groundworks come out with like their own little excavator to dig the hole?
Groundworks has their own contractor that does everything.
Oh, okay. So they
Yep.
contracted with a company to come out and dig
Yes,
and
yep.
plant and fill it back in. And,
Yep, very good program.
And then you're on your way. Wow.
Yeah, it's
What-
been a pleasure to work with them up to to this point over the winter, going through all the aspects of the program. So they're great agency.
I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but in terms of time, how long did it take to plant a tree? To come out, dig, plant, put it back in?
I think it's a pretty quick process.
Hour? So?
Yeah, an hour, maybe a little bit more, depending on where they got to get the equipment and protecting the your property as the equipment goes around, or whether or not they have to dig it by hand.
Shovels for everybody.
It will get into the ground.
All right, we'll take a break here on the Coffee and program. If you have any comments or questions about this program or anything else going on with the city that Mike could possibly answer, give us a call, 766-1240.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love. This Friday night at the Lebanon Woonsocket Free Concert at River Island Art Park, we open with a high-energy band from Providence, Ravi Shavi.
I fell off until the night I figured that could be alright. She said she'd wait, but this ain't right. So many ways to lose your mind. I'm in a hollow state of mind.
Then our headliners, the blues and soul sounds of Annika Chambers and Paul Delorier. There's nothing like live music in a beautiful park setting. Come, bring a blanket, a lawn chair, live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids' activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come in person this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON, AM, and FM stereo radio and streamed live at woonsocketradio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. The broadcast is sponsored in part by Buxton Hollow Farm in Woonsocket, PT Floors, Walls, and More, Fontaine Real Estate, Heavy Press Graphics, Landmark Medical Center, and State Senator Melissa Murray.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Emily Haney-Sheen from The Call, and Mike DeBrois from the City of Woonsocket, Director of Planning and Development. Bob Lauder had to go to court. We'll see Bob next Thursday. And just talking with Mike, and Joel Matthews just passed away.
Yeah.
Now, you worked with him at the City Hall, didn't you?
Yeah, I had. I mean, I've been there for almost 34 years. Joel, over his lifetime of working for the city, I believe was close to 45 years in different time frames. Joel was always, it was a great guy to work with. A number of my staff has worked with him and for him, and we were during a staff meeting we had on Tuesday. You know, it was some talk about his untimely passing. He was only 77, I believe, but he did a lot for Woonsocket. His fingerprints are everywhere.
Didn't he work for 5 different mayors? Did I read that right?
Well, even when I look at how many people I've worked with and stuff, I mean, it starts to add up fast. And I'll say, Mayor Lisa Bordelli Hunt's been a pleasure to work for and with. But Joel, I feel honored to be in the office that Joel worked in. It's the same thing with David Boulay and Scott Gibbs and Steve Lima and Bianca. They were all great directors. But Joel was awesome.
Yeah. And it's too bad he passed away.
It is
so quickly like that. All right, other things going on in the city. You've got some outdoor fitness equipment over at the at Aging Well and at World War II Park.
Yep, 2 recent programs and work that our office recently completed. I know we did the ribbon cutting at the senior center. We did 3 outdoor pieces of equipment. We worked with Paulette Hamilton through a grant that she was able to secure from AARP. Is that the group that keeps reaching out to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Susie turned 45.
Okay, yeah. I just keep seeing their cards come in the mail every once in a while. We put 3 pieces of outdoor equipment over there with room to expand. That place came out awesome. Beautiful mural on the back of the equipment on the fence that's owned by the neighbor that allowed us to do it. That is beautiful. I encourage people to go look at that. And then the recent project that we haven't done the ribbon cutting for, but we will. But the equipment's there is at World War II Park. It's down where we would typically put amusements for Autumn Fest. There is
So kind of sort of near the splash pad.
Yeah, across from there. It came out beautiful. They're on concrete pads. There's 4 pieces of equipment. They're ADA compliant. We put 2 benches. So you can, and it's all upper body, lower body, the way it works. And then you just walk around. You can do a lap around the park, come in, do your second set, do a lap around the park, come in, do your third set.
So is it like pull-ups and like that?
It's hard to. I mean, I wish I had each piece of what they do, but I looked
More
at
like
them.
Nautilus than.
Yeah, it's stuff for, just like I said, your upper body. It's stuff for your legs. A great design, good pieces of equipment. I was out there while they were putting everything down into the ground. Our contractor that did the work did an awesome job. Looks beautiful. A gentleman from my office oversaw the whole thing. Mark Brazai did a great job overseeing the project. And that's what we like seeing. You know, it's great to get the money. It's good to buy it. When I bring some of my office staff afterwards, it's, you know, just in the office that's doing all the paperwork part, and they actually get to see what happened at the end.
It's awesome.
It is. It's beautiful. It's like, holy crap. This. I'm sorry if I said that, but it's like, this actually came out really nice.
Yeah.
You know, the vision it came to fruition.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed when we see that stuff. And again, I encourage people to go to World War II Park. The changes that we've done over there is great. And everybody knows that after Autumn Fest is done this year, we start the demo of the existing stage, and we start working on the new stage.
When's that going to start?
The demo will start right after Autumn Fest.
Autumn Fest this year, okay.
Yep. Director D'Agostino will be handling the demo part of that to try to save some money. And then my office will be working on, you know, all the bids, getting the contractors all set, and we'll get that all ready in construction as soon as possible.
Well, demolition will be easy. You just got to hit it once with a sledgehammer. The whole thing's going to fall down.
Don't tell Director D'Agostino that's easy. This is,
well, I bet on that stage, I'm like, oh, I don't know. We're going to make it another year.
No, it's coming down.
Yeah, good.
And it will come down. It will be sorted. We'll recycle all the materials that we can, meaning, you know, scrap metal and all that. So we try to do it the right way, and not just bury everything.
Right.
But I look forward to that as the next project for that park.
All right, great. And the Autumn Fest committee will look forward to a new stage as
they
well.
will, because they do reach out and they know that this new stage is coming, but they understand, you know,
Takes time.
The timing is has to be there.
Yep.
You know, I have to have the staff, you know, and ready to handle the bidding, the overseeing of the project. So, and you know, staffing is always the issue, and so it's, you know, it's in the Valley Breeds. It's, you know, it's hard to keep positions filled for a number of different reasons, but you know, I've got great people that work for me, and that project will go off smoothly.
So is it the plan is to just knock it down before it gets too cold, and then in the springtime start building?
Yeah, and if the weather's good, we'll start building.
In the wintertime?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, you
great.
know, nothing's going to stop construction from moving forward. If the ground's not frozen, there's no reason not
to do it.
The biggest thing will be the availability of materials.
All right. Okay. That's great. Now, were you part of the process of putting up that sign over by River Falls that says "You are beautiful"?
No, but I think it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it,
No?
but I think
Okay.
it's great.
It is great to see it over there.
I love the dam over there. My previous life with the DPW was overseeing the dam and the hydro plant, and I think that area in the city is great to see, and people to visit. So it's a nice piece of art. The art project that I was involved with was with the mayor, and we'll be doing the ribbon cutting shortly. Is the Smile project on Truman
Bypass.
bypass.
Yeah.
That came out really nice. We
It
used
is.
Rivers Edge Arts project, and Brad and his students did an awesome job, and we used a local company to help install the letter. So it came out nice.
Are there any other plans, since you're in planning, to put other artwork similar to the Smile one in other places in the city, or can you talk about it?
There is always plans for artwork throughout
Okay.
the city, and as we move forward on those projects, we'll get some press releases out as to what the visions are.
Okay.
But art in the city is nice to
It's
see.
key.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
It really makes the
And
it
it
brightens
does-
up the place.
It does. And I think it kind of, if you're having a bad day and seeing something that just for a second makes you feel better, I think that's,
How can you drive by the Smile project
And not smile.
It tells you
Exactly.
to smile.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I like the whole aspect of it. When you're really driving towards it, you don't really see it, and then as you're driving, you kind of see the letters. How
Yeah.
they designed that was
Pretty
Yeah.
cool, huh?
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
Well, we should get Emily's face on something. Get people smiling.
You can go and smile. We get the dot above the eye. You can
Yeah.
put your
Yeah,
eyes
yeah,
right
yeah.
back there.
That'll be
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Any other projects that you can talk about that are in the whole planning and development stage?
Well, I think everybody knows that the city is purchasing 330 Social Street, the old Aaron's. We finally we're in the due diligence period with the purchase and the sales. I had my inspectors go in there this week to do their walkthrough. I have a structural engineer going in there next week. We're doing our environmental study, so that way we can actually get the keys for the building, and then that will be going full steam ahead.
With the food market.
Food hub.
Yes.
Food hub, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Great.
So I am so looking forward to this project. I think this is going to just be another feather in the cap for the city of Woonsocket. This was a grant opportunity that the mayor caught wind of, sent it over to me for our staff, and
Jump right on it.
And for us to get it was like
Yeah.
it was awesome. And we submit a lot of grants in my office, a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we get some. The one grant that we got, then they're being delivered was some new trash and recycling receptacles for World War II Park. These things are going to be nice. They're not just the typical burgundy and green bins that we have in the city that we have in the park right now. These are through Rhode Island Resource Recovery. Expensive. Yeah, you just think. Well,
You wouldn't think, though,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they are.
Just buying some new cans. How
Yeah.
much is that? It's like, well, it's $20,000.
Wow.
So it's it's
You
expensive.
can't buy just one.
No.
No.
And with that grant over at the dog park, we put a new trash and recycling receptacle over there. It looks awesome. It's got prints of dog bones and prints in there, and it's all custom into the steel. So that came out nice.
Great. So, all right. So we look forward to seeing those things going on. You bet your position for a year and a half now, right? Is that what you?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going by fast, hasn't
It
it?
has, yeah. We put in. I think all the staff puts in a lot of time. The directors put in a lot of time, and it's well worth it. I've enjoyed every part of it. I really have. So I look forward to wherever this brings. For as long as I want to be down there, and the mayor still wants me down there. So we have a lot of projects in the queue, and hopefully the time will slow down a little bit and we can actually do some more projects. But yeah, it has been already a year and a half.
Is your general work day? Is it different every day?
It is. I'm always in early. I grab my coffee. I'm in the office at 7 and starting to go through what the staff is looking at for the day. I have an open door policy. My doors are always open, so it's nonstop traffic. I love meeting with the developers in the city. We have, without naming the businesses, we have 3 or 4 businesses in the city that are busting at their seams, that have been in our office, almost on a weekly basis, trying to figure out where can they expand to, what can they do, what can the city do. Actively working with them. We've got companies out of New Jersey looking to locate into Woonsocket. We've got companies out of New York looking to expand into Woonsocket. So
Great.
When we say Woonsocket is growing, it is. There's a need out there.
All right, we're coming to the end of the program, but we did get one final note called in, 766-1240. Mike, they're just looking for the phone number to call to get trees.
So call my
the best
office
number?
and then we'll redirect you, because I don't unfortunately have that in front of me, but I do
Your
know
office
my
number?
office number is 767-9237. Again, 767-9237. Hopefully, that person qualifies.
And you just need you're looking
Yeah,
for the number
yeah.
to get the trees.
Yep. And for some reason, I've already heard some people saying that they've called and they don't fit the qualifications.
Yeah.
If you don't, please call me and let me know what your address is. I like to look,
look
continue to look
yourself.
in. Yeah, because if for some reason, if we still have trees left, all the trees are going to get planted.
Somewhere.
So
Okay.
we'll have you on the list.
All right. That'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in. As always, we thank Bob Lauder for coming in. And Mike DeBrois, thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
in.
Nice seeing you.
You as well. Emily, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I'll be here next week, same time, same place.
Very good. My name's Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone. And stay tuned for Senior Scene. That's next here on ON Radio, followed by Gary Smith and the crew. And do you remember on ON Radio?
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. If you find yourself near the